and you are welcome to another very interactive and engaging session with Brand Story School with Dr. Ish. And this class particularly is going to be addressing some challenges people face while making presentations in public. And when I mean presentations in public, I'm talking about being able to speak confidently in the presence of people on stage, thesis, and of course presentations. It could be you're invited to speak at an engagement, but basically the problems people face, the fear, how to speak confidently, how to manage stage fright, being nervous, and not just that, being able to add the skill of public speaking with certain strategies to attract the right kind of opportunities. Now, today's class is also very important, not just creators, but for coaches, for founders, and anybody basically wanting to run a business, already running a business, or a serious professional, but somebody looking to monetize their speaking skills or learn how to speak and be better speaking skills. Now, if you go through my channel, you will see other public speaking classes where I spoke about how to overcome fear, how to use your voice to make money, so many other issues related to public speaking. I spoke about body language. I spoke about how to strategies on how to research and how to prepare for job interviews and very important presentations, project defense, and all whatnot. So it's a pleasure having you here. Very big pleasure having you here. And my name remains Dr. Ish. And in today's class, we'll be addressing how to be confident and visible using public speaking strategies to attract the right kind of opportunities. Now, there are so many of opportunities you get once you understand how to speak in public, once you understand the basic skills needed. Nobody is born with the ability to be able to speak in public. People learn it. People, even the best of the best, they weren't born with that skill. They learned how to speak with that skill. All right, so this is just a very critical class that you need to pay attention to. But if you can just give me a minute. I don't know why this screen is. Yes, so sorry, the screen froze for a minute there. So today we're talking about how to be confident and visible using public speaking strategies to attract opportunities. Now, one thing I need you to understand is that nobody is born with the skill of knowing how to speak in public. People learn the skill, people acquire the skill. These are skills that you need to learn over time. These are strategies that you need to implement over time. Nobody is born with the skill to know how to speak, right? So imagine yourself being invited for a program, a physical program to speak on stage, or a Zoom presentation, a Google Meet presentation, and the minute you are called to speak, you find that, I don't know if you've experienced it before, when you go for Zoom meetings or presentation, some of the speakers don't put on their camera when they are speaking. Now, let me tell you something. Most times people do that. It is because they do not want to be seen. They have a problem with being seen, or they feel that if they are being seen, it will reduce their confidence. People feel more confident speaking at virtual events when the camera is not on. But let me tell you something. When you want to show your presence, when you want to show your level of confidence, when you are speaking on air, on camera, in the public, it's always good to be seen. Now, stay with me. I'll explain to you the reasons why it is important you develop your public speaking skills. Learning how to speak in public is not necessarily for only a certain kind of people in a certain kind of industry. Doctors need public speaking skills, lawyers need public speaking skills, nurses need public speaking skills, creators need public speaking skills, coaches and founders need public speaking skills, YouTubers need public speaking skills. Everybody needs to know how to speak in public. But can everybody speak in public? No. But can you learn how to speak in public? Yes, you can. And the ways you can learn how to speak in public is not rocket science. It just deals with implementation. And if you can implement these strategies I'll be sharing with you, you will be able to learn how to recognize fear, how to overcome the fear, and how to also use your public speaking skills to start creating visibility for yourself and also monetizing your skills, right? Now, let me tell you something. Fear is normal. People are scared of speaking in public for 1,001 reasons, and the reasons can. One of the reasons people have, or let me just say several of reasons why people are scared to speak in public could be because they lack confidence. You probably stammer. You don't want people to see how you stutter when you are speaking. You don't like how you look. Maybe you feel you look too fat, or you look too slim, or you feel you're not beautiful enough, or you feel you're not handsome enough. There are 1,001 reasons why people avoid speaking in public, and not because they lack the skill, not because they lack the knowledge, but basically because of one or two things they are scared of.
Charging now.
And fear is one of the things that stop people from being able to express themselves in public. I find that many times people are having issues speaking in public. It's basically because they are scared. And fear is normal when you are learning how to speak in public. But let me tell you something. If you keep living with the fear of speaking in public, it could cost you a promotion. It could cost you a job interview. It could cost you a salary increase. It could also cost you from being recognized as a very versatile creator. That if you look at the best of the best, I'm talking about people like the former president of the United States, Obama. I mean, so many people, Oprah Winfrey, Steve Jobs, so many great people, you know, actors and actresses, speak very well in public, but they trained on how to speak in public. See, it is normal for you to be scared of presenting. I remember the first time I was asked to speak on stage, I started coughing. I developed a cough almost immediately. I shared that story on LinkedIn today. I also position on LinkedIn as a visibility and monetization coach and a ghostwriter. Now, I'll tell you something. 50% of the students I have had, or the people I have coached on public speaking, always tell me that one of the reasons why they are afraid of coming out to speak in public is because they are afraid that people will laugh at them. They are afraid that people will ridicule them. And they're afraid that they will make a mistake while speaking. But you know one thing, confidence is built. Confidence is not a gift. You build confidence when you are speaking in public. You build confidence in learning how to present yourself. And one of the things I teach my students in my public speaking classes is when you are speaking, you must learn to use your body to speak as well as your voice. All right, when you're making a public speaking presentation, whether you're on stage or whether you are asked to speak at a virtual meeting, you should learn how to manage your body language. And when I say body language, how to use your hands, how to use your shoulders, and how to maintain eye contact. Yes, I know it can be pretty difficult sometimes to maintain eye contact when people are speaking to you or when you are speaking to people. At the beginning of my own career, learning how to speak in public, I always had a problem looking people in the eyes. I was always scared. When I look at people in the eyes, I start shaking instantly. But with time and with practice, I started getting better. And one of the hacks in learning how to speak in public is to know how to stand in front of a mirror. That's one of the classes I give my students. Stand in front of a mirror and read to yourself. Record yourself on the phone, share with friends. And one of the other tricks I also teach people, or should I say tips, I teach people is you get a newspaper, right? Newspaper, not the online ones, not the printed ones, and you read from it and listen to your voice as you are speaking. But let's get back to the basics, because today's topic is addressing how to be confident, not just to speak, but to be confident in speaking and using that confidence to maintain visibility and using this visibility to attract opportunities. Now, you want to be able to speak in public and present your brand and your image in the right way. You don't want to look like you're scared. But I'll tell you something. Every public speaker, no matter how great, the first 30 seconds of being invited to speak online, they always shake. It may not be visible. The thing is that the more you practice, even if you are scared, people don't tend to notice. So it's all about your body language. It's all about your courage. It's all about how you present yourself to the public when you are making presentations. So if you're a student, I need you to know that you need to learn how to speak in public. If you're a creator, public speaking skill is very critical. especially if you're a YouTuber, you know how it is, how you always have to keep going live. A lot of people avoid going live. A lot of people use faceless channels because they have a problem with being seen in public due to one insecurity or the other. But I'll tell you something, you're not the ugliest in the world. Neither are you the worst speaking in the world. But with public speaking, you need to be able to embrace your talents, embrace your skills, and learn how to package them in the best possible way to attract the right kind of audience to you. So the first thing we are speaking about is how to overcome the fear of public speaking. And like I've said, fear is normal. Confidence is built over time. Nobody is born with the gift of confidence. You learn how to overcome confidence the same way you learn how to overcome fear. Now, if you do not overcome fear, opportunities will not flow to you. Visibility comes to only those who are able to overcome their fear and be confident in front of the camera. I'm sure you can see the way I'm speaking in front of the camera. You see the way I'm moving my hands. You see the way I'm moving my body. You see the way I'm elevating my voice and reducing my voice where I need to do that. So that's called tonality. Moving the body is also called body language. And then the way I'm speaking, the way I'm pausing is called pacing. So when you are speaking in public, you have to learn how to pace your words. For instance, some people speak very fast. So if you notice you're someone that speaks so fast, to be able to become a good public speaker, you must learn how to slow down your pace so that people can understand the words that you are speaking. So for instance, when you are speaking, if you are very fast in speaking, you should know how to pause for every 2 seconds when you are speaking. You breathe, you pause, so that people can assimilate what you are trying to say. To become a very confident speaker, you have to practice and rehearse before the real day, before the D-Day. So let's say you have a presentation in 2 weeks' time. The best thing and the ideal thing to do is to first of all script out and research. Who are your audience? What are the demographics of your audience? Are you speaking to men? Are you speaking to women? Are you speaking to children? Are you speaking to teenagers? Are you speaking to adults? Are you speaking to Africans? Are you speaking to Americans? Are you speaking to Muslims? Are you speaking to Christians? Right? You need to understand the demographics of your audience so that you know the right balance and the right words to use when you are speaking. So let's say you're going for a job interview. You know the regular questions. Introduce yourself to us in the first 5 minutes, 10 seconds. I mean, it depends on who's recruiting you. So most times people go for job interviews. The reason why they fail at job interviews, it's not because they're not intelligent. It's not because they're not brilliant. It's because they lack the ability to present themselves in a right way. They lack the ability to be able to present themselves with courage. And the bad thing about public speaking, or should I say the good thing about public speaking, is that when you are speaking in public, if you are scared, it becomes obvious through the body language. That is the first sign people notice when they want to know that you are afraid. For instance, if you are called out to speak in public and you find yourself twisting your arms like this, it goes without saying that everybody is going to know that you are scared. Or if you're invited to speak in public and you're holding a microphone and your microphone keeps shaking like this, what does that mean? So you have to be able to have massive control over your body. But yes, I hear you say, oh, Dr. Ish, but that is pretty difficult. Sometimes I want to speak, but I find my body shaking. Absolutely, it happens a lot. And this is the reason why great public speakers and coaches